WFDX3 News at 6 in high definition.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Bilyeu. Gwen is off tonight. A terrible accident south of Windthorst has claimed the life of an Archer County woman. It happened about 11:30 just south of Highway 16 on 281. Sergeant Dan Busing with the Department of Public Safety says 48-year-old Mary Laverne Beavers was turning into her driveway when she was hit by an 18-wheeler. He says rather, that she was not wearing a seatbelt, and when her pickup was hit, the driver's side door sprang open. She fell out and was run over by the semi. Sergeant Busing says the semi driver became confused in road construction and was driving south in the northbound lane of 281.
Be mindful, try not to be distracted during those construction areas, and just pay extra attention and use caution, slow down a little bit, make sure you're on the right side of the roadway.
Beavers was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the 18-wheeler was not hurt. Well, Texoma cheer squads are headed to Abilene for the playoffs tomorrow, not to cheer on their teams, but for a team whose cheerleading bus crashed last weekend. Iran's football cheerleaders were traveling home from Colorado City last weekend when their bus was struck by a semi on I-20. Several cheerleaders were injured. The squad sponsor died. Samaria Terry sat down with Mundy High School cheerleaders, the team that had just played Iran that night.
Yeah, Doug, and they believe that could have easily been them. Now their main focus is showing the Iran cheerleaders that they support them. Last Friday night, Mundy lost to Iran in the state quarterfinals. An exciting night for the Iran cheerleaders turned into tragedy after their bus collided with a semi-rig, killing their sponsor and injuring 7 others.
We had just hit hands with those girls, seeing their smiling faces from winning a great game. I just couldn't imagine what their parents were feeling.
Everybody clap your hands. Madison Edgar and her teammates have never cheered for anyone but the Moguls, but tomorrow they are headed to Abilene to cheer for the team that stopped their run for the state championship. She says as soon as they heard the news, their first thought was to pray and find out what more they could do.
I feel blessed to be able to show them that it wasn't just about the football game. That doesn't matter anymore. It's about them, that we're showing support to their cheerleaders and their community as we would expect from someone else.
And they won't be alone. They are expected to be joined by more than 400 cheerleaders at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene.
There's going to be so many cheerleaders, so many different colors, and it just shows that it's not just about the football players, it's about us cheering anyone on.
We know what it's like to be a small community, and when one person's affected, we're all affected by tragedy. But exciting to see how many people are coming together and putting what really matters in life first.
The Mundy cheerleaders will be wearing their usual purple and gold, but will also be wearing red bows for the Iran cheerleaders. Mundy cheer sponsor Jessica Tolliver left this note while giving her bows to her cheerleaders.
After the game Friday, I want you to take these bows home with you to serve as a daily reminder of how fleeting our time on earth truly is. Put them in your rooms, take them with you to your dorm rooms. Let them remind you to make the most out of this life. Set goals, take chances, and always show your love for your family and friends. Love you, girls. Tolly.
Cheerleaders from 50 schools will stand with Mundy and the Iran cheerleaders during the game. All sponsors and cheer squads will get into the game for free. Kickoff is set for 7 on Friday at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene.
All right, Samaria, thank you. 1 of 2 people arrested in a robbery attempt of the Jack in the Box on Central Freeway in September of 2015 has now been sentenced. 27-year-old Justin Fugit entered a plea agreement and received 10 years probation for aggravated robbery and also fined $750. Police arrested Fugit and a 15-year-old boy after they were found walking near the Jack in the Box. Employees say they saw the two in the parking lot wearing masks and called 911. When the two were arrested, police say the teen began fighting and spitting at officers. Police reports say they found ammunition and drug paraphernalia in their car and masks and an air pistol near the business. Police say Fugit was apparently going to drive the car from the scene after the juvenile robbed the business. Well, a former Wichita Falls High School math teacher may be going to trial early next year on charges of having sex with a student, although attorneys say a plea agreement could be reached before then. Amber Woody is charged with having an improper relationship with a student. She has not agreed to pay to any plea agreement thus far, so today her case was set for trial in early January. Authorities say she admitted to being intimate with a student but denied having sexual intercourse with a student at her house, as the student alleged. He said their relationship began with texting in the fall of 2014. Woody turned herself into police in June of last year. And another trial involving alleged illegal sales involving food stamps has been set for trial. Two Wichita Falls men charged with money laundering over $20,000 appeared in 89th District Court today. Franklin Parikh and Anil Parikh have not announced if they'll accept a plea offer. Police say customers reported they could buy items such as synthetic marijuana and beer using Lone Star benefit cards at the Lucky 7 store on Ray Road. Officers say a clerk at the store told them she knew the transactions were illegal, but when she questioned the pair, she says they told her to keep making them. Police also filed charges in 2013 on similar allegations at this store. Well, another Wichita Falls restaurant has apparently called it quits less than 5 months after it opened. Reef Street on Caulfield has posted on its Facebook page it is closed, and a sign in the door says, "We are closed." It opened in July in the former Smashburger location, which opened in 2014. Before Reef Street opened, another investor had planned to open a seafood shop in the same location, but changed his mind. Well, with this closing, we're asking if you think the restaurant market in town is too saturated. Here's a look at some of the results so far. 53% of you are saying yes, but we need more variety. 34% say yes, we have too many restaurants, while 12% of you say no, we need more restaurants. You can continue in on the conversation there on our Facebook page. Just head to Facebook and search for KFDX. Well, winter has finally arrived in Texoma, and many of us have been had to crank up those thermostats just a few notches or taking other measures to stay warm, but it's those other measures that sometimes makes this one of the busiest times of the year for the fire department responding to house fires. Kinsey Meekback has some tips, though, on how to keep your home or apartment safe. Kinsey?
Besides home heating fires, now that it's the holiday season, the fire dangers only increases with all the extra lights and decorations. John Ferguson with Ferguson Barish Air Conditioning, Heating and Plumbing says they expect business to spike after this recent cold spell.
We will be busy this week. It's started. We will be working late tonight. We'll probably be working later tomorrow night.
But they aren't the only ones who may be extra busy during this week. The Wichita Falls Fire Department also expects to be getting a lot of calls, even more urgent than those to the heating people.
December, January, and February are the busiest time of years that we see home heating fires.
So how do you keep warm while also staying safe? Check your furnace annually and don't store anything combustible near it.
Be certain that if you have a gas furnace, be certain that it's been serviced, that your flue pipe is clear, that you've got good combustion on your burners, that the integrity of the heat exchanger is good. Many of these things take a qualified technician to look at to verify.
Make sure your space heater has a tip switch so that if it falls over, it shuts off automatically.
Keep a 3-foot area clear around them and keep that area clear of your kids too.
Christmas decorations and lights can also pose a fire danger.
UL and factory mutual listing on them. Make sure that they're in for indoor or outdoor use, whatever you intend to use them for. If you have a live tree, check it and water it daily.
Avoiding a devastating loss in what's supposed to be one of the happiest seasons of all. Other advice from the fire department: don't use the oven and burners to heat the home and stay in the kitchen the entire time while cooking. And also make sure to check and clean your chimney and fireplace annually.
All right, Kinsey, thank you very much. And Kevin Selly will join us right after the break to tell us just how cold it's going to get over the weekend. Stay with us.